At one point, Subway was the largest restaurant chain in the world, bigger than McDonald's by the number of locations. With its Eat Fresh slogan and famous $5 footlong deals, it became a crucial part of American culture. But over the past decade, the brand has struggled, closing thousands of restaurants, facing declining sales, and dealing with a major scandal involving its longtime spokesperson, Jared Fogle. So how did Subway grow so quickly, and why has its reputation taken such a hit? The Subway story begins in 1965 with a college student named Fred DeLuca. DeLuca was just a 17-year-old from Connecticut who wanted to pay for medical school. His family friend, Dr. Peter Buck, a nuclear physicist, loaned him $1,000 and suggested that he open a sandwich shop. This first location, called Pete's Super Submarines, opened in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and by the early 1970s, they rebranded as Subway. Now, his shop had done so well that they began franchising, and by 1978, the 100th store had opened, and they reached the 1,000th store by 1987. Fred DeLuca became the face of Subway's growth. He was a determined entrepreneur who emphasized low startup costs for franchisees and consistent branding. The business model was simple: inexpensive sandwiches made to order, a healthier alternative to burgers and fries, and a heavy focus on franchising. By the 1980s and 1990s, Subway was expanding aggressively. DeLuca's goal was 5,000 stores by 1994, and they beat it. By 2010, Subway had overtaken McDonald's in number of global locations, and at its peak, Subway operated more than 44,000 restaurants worldwide, with over 27,000 restaurants in the United States alone. The financials were staggering. In 2012, Subway's global sales reached nearly $18 billion, and at one point, it was the second largest fast food chain in revenue, only behind the McDonald's. Subway became known for its low-cost expansion model. Franchisees shouldered most of the expenses, while corporate collected all the royalties. This system generated steady profits for Subway headquarters, even as competition in the fast food world had intensified during the same time. But this same model also created problems, with too many locations opening too close to each other, and that oversaturation would come back to haunt them in years to come. Now, one of the biggest drivers of Subway's success was its marketing, particularly the story of Jared Fogle. In 1999, Jared, an Indiana college student, claimed to have lost over 200 pounds by eating only Subway sandwiches. Now, this was a great marketing ad for Subway. Subway quickly turned them into their national spokesperson. For over a decade, Jared was the face of Subway, appearing in more than 300 commercials and helping rebrand the chain as a healthier fast food option. Analysts estimate Jared's campaign brought billions of dollars in added sales. But in 2015, Jared was convicted on charges related to child exploitation and child pornography. He was sentenced to more than 15 years in prison. This was a huge hit to Subway. The scandal shocked the public and severely damaged Subway's brand image. Even though corporate leaders claimed they didn't know about Jared's crimes, the association was impossible to ignore. It was too late already. But even before the Jared Fogle scandal, Subway was facing major challenges. The $5 footlong campaign, which started in 2008, became hugely popular, but at the same time, it ate into profits for franchise owners. Many of the franchise owners who did their $5 footlong promotion struggled to cover rising costs. Another problem with Subway was oversaturation. With thousands of Subways opening across the United States, stores often competed directly with each other. Franchisees accused corporate of prioritizing royalties over sustainable growth for the company. Now, during this time, in the mid-2000s, competition had also started to intensify. Chains like Chipotle, Panera Bread, and Jimmy John's positioned themselves as fresher or trendier alternatives to the likes of Subway. And by the mid-2010s, Subway's United States sales were in decline. Between 2015 and 2020, Subway closed more than 6,000 locations in the United States alone. And in 2019, Subway's United States sales dropped below $10 billion, a steep fall from its peak years. Its average annual sales per location were just over $400,000, and this is less than half of what typical McDonald's restaurants usually earned. Now, globally, the brand still has some scale with about 37,000 locations worldwide, but it no longer dominates the United States market the way it once did. Now, after Fred DeLuca had passed away in 2015, leadership shifted to Suzanne Greco, his sister, who ran the company until 2018. Under new management, Subway has tried to rebrand with refreshed menus, digital ordering, and new store designs. And in 2023, Subway was acquired by Roark Capital, the private equity firm that owns other big restaurant brands like Arby's and Dunkin' Donuts. Now, the deal was worth reportedly over $9 billion, signaling that investors still believe in Subway's potential. Now, Subway's story is a mix of remarkable success and major setbacks. From a $1,000 loan in 1965 to one of the biggest restaurant empires in history, it showed the power of franchising and simple branding. But scandals, franchise tensions, and declining sales revealed the risk of growing too fast and relying too heavily on a single spokesperson. Now, Subway is still massive, but whether it can reinvent itself for a new generation of customers still remains to be seen. So that's the story of Subway, a sandwich empire built by a college kid and a physicist, fueled by franchising and a famous weight loss story. But it was later shaken by oversaturation, competition, and a terrible scandal that hurt its brand image permanently. Now, will Subway make a comeback under new ownership, or will it continue to fade as newer chains capture the market share? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.